My first question is for you, Charlize. You played lots of action heroes before these movies, but Andy seems to me a little bit different. She's immortal, obviously, and she's using a big axe. How was it fight with an axe?
Oh, that was challenging. Yeah, for sure. She, you know, that weapon is really her weapon of choice, and it's almost like an extension of her body. And so I had to spend as much time as I possibly could with that weapon and try to master it. I was remembering yesterday that my incredible fight trainer Danny Hernandez actually gave me one to just kind of like have around in my house. And I remember it was in my car a lot, just wherever I was going, I would just always like have it in my hand and just kind of like move it around and stuff. And I realized that was probably a really interesting period, you know, for my children and for people in my life, just constantly seeing this axe in my life. But I had to just kind of like have it with me as much as I possibly could to get it down.
I read something about your thumb. Did you?
Yeah. I tore the ligaments off my bone that kind of connects your thumb to your hand. So I had no I had no thumb basically for the last 3.5 weeks of shooting, which, you know, turns out you don't need 2 thumbs. 1 thumb is enough.
That's enough. Yes. Kiki, how about you? How was the fight with the Charlies? You know, punch her in the face.
I mean, it was insane, and that fight was actually the first week of filming for us. So they kind of just threw me into it. But you know, I'm thankful for it because I think it helped to really, you know, build the relationship that Niall and Andy have. And yeah, it just, I don't know, it was very different for me. Obviously, never done anything like it before, but man, I hope I get to do more of it.
What was your motivation to be in this movie? What attracted you in this story? What was it?
Yeah, no, first of all, I met up with Gina, and I really like her as a director. She made a film that I really loved called Beyond the Lights. And so we had a great conversation about the film, and I was excited also about the rest of the cast that was coming together. And then, you know, this story, this really interesting, dynamic, action-packed, but very sort of interesting, existential, philosophical, moral and ethical story that I thought would be really exciting to be a part of, and this kind of world and the potential of this world expanding and telling more stories with these characters just felt really exciting to me.
How about you, Harry?
Yeah, I mean, the exact same. I read the script, then I met Gina. We spoke about what we thought Merrick, who he was, what he could be. We spoke about the changes from the comic book to the script, and I just got really excited. And then, of course, I heard he was in it, and that was again it was just a no-brainer for me in terms of everything that was there in the script and the people involved.
You're eating some Turkish baklava in the movie. Have you ever tasted before?
Yes, I've spent a lot of time in Turkey. I love Turkey.
Really?
Yes, I've done some very extensive backpacking trips. I mean, back in my like late 20s, early 30s, I did like a 5-week trip where I backpacked all the way through Medokia and stayed with just local villages, and I had an incredible experience. But yeah, the baklava, the Turkish delight, like I love all of that stuff. Yes.
Which one did you taste it? The pistachio one or walnut one?
I personally like the walnut more. I'm not a big pistachio. I know.
There's a big debate in Turkey about the walnut and pistachio.
Yeah, I know. It's the second-class citizen. I understand.
Okay. In this movie, there's a scientist trying to find a cure for suffering to people. What do you think about this, you know, the virus thing, this moment, at the moment we are living in?
Yeah, I mean, look, I think that any period of great change, especially these kind of dramatic and seismic happenings are going to produce a lot of theories, you know, that aren't a lot of them aren't based in fact. But I think that what is true is that we are in a state where we have to continue to look at our relationship to the world, you know, and to the planet, and to nature, and I think the pandemic is, as well as all of the other things that it is, it's also a reason to kind of to re-engage, to understand our own human fragility and our own human part in the kind of in the natural in nature and the natural sort of organization of the world, and to find ourselves a little bit humbled and a little bit engaged with how to live more harmoniously, I think, with each other, but also with nature.
Would you like to be an immortal?
Nah.
It's I think it's complicated. I think in broad strokes, obviously the idea of having more time is always something that's very intriguing. But I always wonder if we would actually be as grateful and as value the time and the preciousness, and would it matter as much, our connection with our people, with our friends, with our family, with, you know, as a mother with my children, you know, is there more depth to it because we always know that it could be gone tomorrow? I always wonder about that.
All right. Kiki, you?
No. I mean, I feel like it's one of those things you ask for it thinking, oh, this would be awesome. And then, you know, you get deeper and deeper into it and you realize, oof, maybe I didn't really know what I was asking for. I think there's really wonderful things that you could do with the gift, like immortality. But I do think that there's still some real, you know, suffering and pain that can come along with it, as it, you know, can get very lonely, as we see these characters struggling with in the film. So yeah, it goes both ways.
Well, I think before the movie, my answer would probably be yes, that's a great idea. Why not? But actually, after the movie, I think my opinion changes somewhat. I think what the movie does so well is it really deals with the burden of immortality, and the cost of it. So yeah, my view has somewhat changed.
How about you, Shweta?
Yeah, no, I don't. I think actually the same as Harry, that it might sound nice in theory. And I mean, we have the pursuit of everlasting life is like one of the central tenets of so much mythology around the world, you know. But when you look underneath the hood, I think it is a murky and difficult path, you know, that sometimes the beauty of life is that it is finite, you know, that it doesn't last, and therefore you have to make it as special as you can.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
We've done it, I think. Thank you.
Thanks.